Also, people pee in the fountains.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I can't guarantee
I've seen like multiple people pee in the fountain.
That's gross.
Like sober? Like
Sober. Oh girl, I don't get canceled for that.
Hi, I'm Yankee Sam 11, and the only reason I didn't get into Stanford is because I'm not a legacy student. What's up guys, it's your boy Yankee Sam 11. We're back here with another Stanford video, and I promise this is the last one. In case you haven't been keeping up, we asked 100 students what made them unique. We asked 100 students who was the most famous person they knew. And now, we're gonna ask 100 students for their most unpopular opinion about Stanford. We're gonna expose the heck out of Stanford, but I hope you know, everyone in this video is entitled to their opinion. Please don't hate on them. At the end of the day, we're all humans. So let's love each other, and let's get on with the video. This video is brought to you by Yankee Sam 11. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. Also leave a like and comment why you hate Stanford, or why you like it.
Stanford's fun. Does that count as an unpopular opinion?
do a lot of people think it's not fun?
Yeah, I'd say a majority actually people think it's not fun. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, very difficult to find things to do. Social life is minimal, but academics are there, so that's what we're here for. Stanford's fun.
Actually, someone was so rude to me the other day about the fact that I'm in humanities that someone called me fuzzy. Like, good for you, you're strong and tough because you do CS.
Do you think they just don't respect humanities as much here?
Yeah, definitely. And I thought that was gonna be a myth, but it's not, in my opinion. On the first day of my poetry class, my teacher was so surprised that 13 people wanted to study poetry. The room was so small, there was no capacity for us, and she was like freaking out because she was like, this never happens, like, why do you want to study this? Like, she was so confused.
You're telling me your room can't fit 13 people?
I know, it was like this tiny.
Stanford likes to romanticize freshman year and they put a lot of pressure on it. And I think that a lot of times the best like years of your time at Stanford can be outside of freshman year. Your freshman year should just be like getting to know people and kind of like sussing out campus and seeing what you like to do, but it doesn't have to be like the perfect Stanford experience, and oftentimes it's not.
How do they romanticize it?
Everyone just is like, oh, like Stanford's like so fun, like you've kind of gone through the hard part of like getting into Stanford, so now it's like the easy part of like, oh, like you just have fun and people are trying to like make their social presence on campus. I think everyone has this idea in their heads of like they have to like live up to the standards of Stanford, and like because they got in, they need to like make it something that maybe it's not what it's meant for them.
I think Stanford can be like secluded at some points, especially with like the freshman classes or freshman dorms. Like you only meet the people in your dorm really, you don't get to meet like the entire class.
Everyone talks about like the Stanford duck syndrome and like imposter syndrome. I think honestly the biggest like syndrome here is like feeling like you have to be productive every single second of the day, even if you don't have to. Because like I've had days where like, I don't know about you guys, where I don't have much work to do and I'm just like taking like a chill day, but I see like my roommates or people on my floor just like grinding, and I'm like, I have to do something. I can't just enjoy free time anymore, because I feel like I have to be doing something even if I just finished all my shit and I don't have anything to do.
What's Stanford duck syndrome?
So the Stanford duck syndrome is that like everyone out here, like they're on their bikes, everyone like looks like they're having a good time and like chilling, but like deep down everyone's like freaking out and like trying to finish their work, and they have like a million things going on. So the reason it's like a duck is because if you look at a duck, it like looks chill, but it's like its feet are like flapping around, like freaking out under the water.
Like when I came here, everyone was like duck syndrome, like you have to watch out for it. Bro, I have not seen it at all. I think it just depends on the people you spend time with, and like if you spend time with people who like value like expressing mental health and stuff, which you should be, to be honest, then it's like really manageable. And I think like a lot of people like get caught up in the fact that like that's just what everyone says about Stanford, that there's duck syndrome and like stuff like that. But it's really like easy to tackle. I don't know, like the people who I hang out with, like I don't get duck syndrome because I know we're all a mess. Like
everyone who's freaking out here is like outwardly freaking out. Like no one hides it. At least in my friend group, like no one hides that they're freaking out. Everyone's like, I have a midterm tomorrow, I have a piece set due at midnight.
If I hear about like one more dating app, y'all don't even talk to people in person. Stop making apps.
Wait, you guys have like your own dating app?
Oh, you don't go here? Everyone tries to make a startup, like dating apps, like constantly.
Name them.
Buzzed.
But that's not a dating app, but yeah.
That's just a gossip thing we have.
Yeah.
Marriage Pact started here.
Do you know what the Marriage Pact is?
I have no idea. What is that?
It's basically like you put in all your information, then you get matched up with someone at Stanford, theoretically when you turn 30, you can marry them. Like it's a marriage pact. So you like, it's a compatibility thing.
It's like a joke, yeah. It's like a survey.
But now it's like spread to like Columbia and other schools, so now it's like a thing. I'm afraid to talk startups. I don't want them to come after me. People really like do not ever like meet up with you. Like you can make plans for like that week, and they'll just keep getting delayed like indefinitely until the end of time, until eventually you're like, I give up, because people are so busy here that they just like don't have time to hang, which is a bummer because I have a lot of free time. I think it's because like a lot of people I know are like, they have class, they have part-time jobs, they have their startups. Everybody has their own startup.
What's your favorite Stanford startup that you've heard of recently?
Basically, they're converting unused commercial space into affordable housing units using these like modular construction pods. It's a company called Kit Switch.
Flirt culture is not all that bad.
What's that?
People on campus have this thing where they'll like be like, hey, let's make plans sometimes, and then they never do, like ever.
It's fake.
And I just do that all the time. Like, it's just because like everyone is just so busy here, and so like I have homework clubs, etc. And so like when I can just go up to someone and be like, hey, let's make plans and be genuine about it, but never actually go through with it. It's like a mutual respect. Like we both have busy schedules, and we want to hang out, but don't want to put in the effort to do it. So it's just like, you know, it's an intermediate.
People are so busy here that they just like don't have time to hang, which is a bummer because I have a lot of free time.
We had a cool conversation about antidepressants, like a random whatever lunchtime, but I feel like coming here I thought I'd have like more like deep, like topical conversations, and I feel like that's not as like prevalent as like one might think.
Kind of like most places, like still surface level, like superficial conversations.
Yes, I think there are people who like look at, like try to find like productive conversations, but I feel like it's not as common as I thought when I came here.
So not everyone here is as thoughtful.
Well,
yeah, those are your words.
People just don't want to get political. People don't want to like delve into controversial topics. I think that like we want to maintain like some like amicability maybe.
I think that band's great.
All the band is out on the field. He's gonna go into the end zone. He's gonna go into the end.
A decent amount of like the professors here aren't actually good at teaching, especially like in like big departments like math. I know from a lot of people that are like in like interdisciplinary classes, like math, physics, chem, that their professors just like aren't good and like don't like seem to know how to teach.
Some of the professors could be better. Just because you like are super experienced and an expert doesn't mean you necessarily know how to teach super well.
Outside looking in, you would think that everyone at Stanford is like exceptional, you know, everyone's a genius, top in their fields. Although everyone's absolutely great, I'd say you see that there are much fewer people who are exceptional, like doing calculus at the age of 11 type exception. Everyone's great in their own way. You might find that someone's not great at STEM, but their emotional intelligence is absolutely out the charts.
What do you think separates Stanford students, and like how do you think Stanford picks their students?
I don't know. It's pretty much inaccurate when people try to tell you what gets other people accepted, not others. It's we don't have the information inside the admissions, so.
Fountain hopping is not that fun.
What's fountain hopping?
When you go jump into fountains with your friends, like go swimming in the fountain, like those fountains are cold. In California heat, like you want to cool down, right? So like normally we have pools, here we have fountains. Also people pee in the fountains.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't guarantee that.
I've seen like multiple people pee in the fountain.
That's gross. Like sober? Like
sober.
Why?
Sober.
Why?
Like, during a run, I've seen it happen. During a run, they'll hop in, they'll like sit, and like, why are you sitting? Yeah.
Like they're like students, not just like random strangers.
Students. Like they're on a run. They're wearing Stanford gear. Like I can see it. Like you're a student. Like they hop in the fountain, they pee, they get out, they go on their run.
I feel like a lot of people come here just to complain about here, but I actually love everything about it. I don't think there's like too many flaws with the system in general, or just the Stanford campus.
A lot of people are like, oh, the campus is so beautiful, it's so nice, but I just feel like it's so isolated from everywhere.
It's just so hard to get off campus. It is so annoying how like far out we are from everything. So it's just like really annoying. You're always on campus, it's hard to get off. And like separate like social life from campus, or like your academics.
But I don't think there's much wrong with it.
What's like the biggest complaint?
Oh, the parties are terrible. Oh my god, they're so bad. The social scene sucks.
What makes them so bad?
Americans don't know how to party. It's like everyone just comes straight from high school. No one's ever like experienced like too many parties in high school, and then they just come into Stanford and people don't know like what to do with themselves when they're at a party.
I think STEM is very overrated here, especially like coming from the East Coast. I think Silicon Valley is very much a bubble where like, yes, the jobs here are very related to tech and coding and that whole thing, but I think there's a whole wide world out there where a lot of other skills are also valuable, and so I think people focus a lot too much on those types of careers and preparing themselves for that. So I think like the fact that I think it's, I want to say 40% of Stanford undergrads are CS majors, and then if you count in SimSys and a lot of the other tangential things, that I think is kind of crazy, and I feel like we need more academic diversity.
Stanford brands itself like this is a place to explore your interests, but I feel like everyone already knows what they want to do when they get here.
Ooh, that's fair.
So I'm like, excuse me, but why is 11% of the campus graduating as CS majors? I thought we were supposed to explore interests, not just do one thing that gets us money.
Yeah, same thing with clubs. Like I feel like you can't join a lot of the clubs unless you're already like really good at it.
Really good at something, like debate.
Yeah, like debate, like any of like the sports, like any of the sports here. Like for like a lot of the academic clubs, so you already have to be like really good at it. Like you can't like start here.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you like are planning on or want to attend Stanford, be warned, the clubs here are hyper competitive to get into. Like some of the clubs have an 11% acceptance rate like among Stanford students.
But like there are clubs that aren't, and I feel like everyone here acts like everything is make or break. It's not. I'm not doing any clubs. I don't give a shit. Like I literally just hang out with like chill spaces of like conversation, like LAFA, like stuff like that. You don't need to be applying for everything, and that's what like gets me so pressed. Like people are like, what clubs are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm just chilling. Like I just go to spaces where I enjoy, and like that'll all come in good time.
When Stanford tries to be like diverse, they kind of like tokenize the whole diversity theme instead of being like, hey, like, oh, we're diverse. Like there's more subtle ways to like show that a school is diverse instead of like making us sit through like stuff at like NSO talking about like, oh, these are different people at your school, like they go through things, you know?
For me, I think we don't know the alumni we should know about. And my biggest example would be Aaron Schwartz. He's done so much for like internet freedom and technology, and I never heard about him until I read about him in a book last week.
Who are the alumni that you hear about a lot on campus?
Elon Musk.
He went here?
Yeah, he was here for like a week for his PhD program or something like that. I don't know. You hear about like Kevin Systrom, the Instagram founder, the LinkedIn founder. I mean, they've all made like serious innovations, right? But like, I feel like the unsung heroes, we don't hear about them too much.
I think the food is really good. I don't know like if it's generally agreed upon that it's good or bad, but I feel like people always complain about their college's food.